I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mojados, and I'm back with another video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Monero, and of course, Monero. So, with that, I just want to share with you guys that this is going to be a video focused on these specific parts, right? So, you got what is Monero background, scrutiny, tokenomics, consensus, and of course some analysis on-chain and technicals. So if you're interested, then I definitely encourage you to watch this video all the way through so you can get my full opinion on what I think. But if this is your first time on the channel, guys, my name is Mo Haros, and what I like to do is pretty much just write about different topics, write about different blockchains, updates, and I've written on my website here. You can find the link in the description if you want to follow along as well. But just multiple different topics, because at the end of the day, if you're not learning, right, that's what I like to push on this channel is if you're not learning, then what the hell are you doing, right? Because this space is so amazing. You definitely want to be ahead of the curve when it comes to this stuff. So with that, I've also created a newsletter. So if you're interested, feel free to sign up. It costs absolutely nothing. And I share things like news, research, maybe even trade recaps if you're into any of that. And of course, I like to focus on logic, data, and reason. Those are my three elements for doing research. Speculation is also good. I like to just throw a hint of that in there because, when you can kind of come up with a theory, at the end of the day, it requires a little bit of speculation. And of course, if you don't like it, then just feel free to unsubscribe. That is perfectly fine. But with that, we're going to be jumping into Monero. So first things first, guys, the Monero team is still updating the blockchain, which is very, very cool, right? And there's no specific Monero team, but the developers behind, the community are still actively building, which is very cool. There's an upgrade that took place actually last year. So that shows that, hey, look, they're still around, right? Don't count these guys out. So with that, let's start off with the first topic. What is Monero? Monero is a decentralized, private, and secure cryptocurrency. It is an open source digital currency that was created in 2014 with the primary goal of offering a secure and private alternative to other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Here's a fun fact. There's rumors from the Bitcoin Talk Forum in 2014 that Satoshi himself created Monero. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, we don't know if that's true, but these are rumors, and a lot of people pointed to a lot of different things saying this could be him that created this blockchain. So we don't know what the answer to that is, but it's something cool that I found along my research, and I thought I would just share it with you guys. But continuing on, Monero is a blockchain-based technology that uses a cryptographic algorithm to secure transactions, making it resistant to government censorship, hacking, and other security breaches. One of the key features of Monero is its privacy-focused approach. Unlike other cryptocurrencies, Monero uses a ring signature and stealth addresses to hide the identity of the sender, receiver, and the amount of the transactions. This makes it difficult for anyone to track the source of the fund or the destination, providing users with a high level of privacy and security. Additionally, Monero has a strong community of developers who are actively working to improve the security and privacy features of the currency. These efforts have made Monero one of the most popular privacy-focused cryptocurrencies in the world. And with these unique elements, I think it's very, very clear that when it comes to privacy coins, Monero is the OG in my personal opinion. It's the only one that actually is fully decentralized in a manner where you cannot see anything that's happening on the blockchain. And that's pretty cool if you ask me. Now, of course, government censorship, hacking, and other security breaches definitely do happen. But on the Monero blockchain, there has not been many or any at all, right? So that's interesting to note as well. So again, I just want to definitely share that. I definitely think it's very, very interesting when it comes to how the transactions are hidden and how, a lot of exchanges are coming and cracking down against Monero itself. So we're going to be talking about that. Don't want to spoil it too much, but continuing on here, let's talk about the background of how it was created, right? So this is Monero background. Monero was created in 2014 by a group of 7 individuals who used the pseudonymous name of Thankful for Today. So that's pretty interesting. I guess that was the term they used when it was actually created. This is pretty cool. Just something, again, that I thought I would share. The true identity of the creator remains unknown, but they have a strong background in cryptography and software development. The creation of Monero was a response to the lack of privacy in other cryptocurrencies and the desire to provide a secure private alternative. The team behind Monero has continued to develop and improve the cryptocurrencies, and the project is now maintained by a large community of developers around the world. These developers have a wide range of skills, including expertise in cryptography, blockchain technology, and software development. They are committed to the goals of Monero and work tirelessly to improve the security and its privacy features, making it one of the most advanced and secure cryptocurrencies in the world. The fact that the identity of the creators is still unknown has added to the mystery and excitement surrounding Monero and has contributed to its popularity and success. So, this is actually funny, right? 7 people, still to this day, no one knows who they are, and they've done very well at pretty much covering their tracks, which is very, very interesting, right? Because that's kind of like, again, in the theme of being hidden or, decentralized, however you want to look at it. It is interesting that none of them have pretty much came to light, even to say like, hey, I created this, or I was a part of this, or Monero is great because of this reason, or no one has come out basically to make certain claims, which I think is very funny. But I also think it's intentional because, think about it. Right now, Monero is, again, the only cryptocurrency that is a privacy coin with real privacy, right? I know like Zcash has some bugs when it comes to tracking it and it's still traceable. I know there's other coins as well, but I think Zcash is actually like the second most common privacy coin, but it's nowhere near XMR. And I'm not making fun of Zcash, or I'm not saying it's bad or this and that. I'm not saying anything actually, but when you talk about privacy, it's really no match, right? Monero takes the cake every single time. So again, even just talking about competitors, Monero is in its own class, and I'm not saying that because I have any, or like I'm not affiliated with it in any way. But again, I'm not endorsing it anyway. I'm just proving the facts here. Okay, that's just the hard, cold reality. But I thought I'd also throw that in there. Nothing is really comes close to Monero when it comes to privacy features, right? Like these other coins are just not the wave, bro. I'm sorry to say it to you, but that's the harsh reality. And with the harsh reality, this is why a lot of exchanges, government regulators are cracking down on Monero. We're going to jump into the scrutiny of Monero itself. But basically, Monero was delisted from some exchanges due to regulatory concerns. Cryptocurrency regulations have varied from country to country, and some countries have stricter laws surrounding privacy-focused, laws. And in some cases, exchanges have been forced. Guys, you hear that? They have been forced to delist Monero and other privacy-focused coins due to the concerns about potential illegal activities such as money laundering, fraud, and tax evasion. Okay. These exchanges are concerned that they may be held accountable for any illegal activities on their platform, so they have chosen to delist certain coins as precautionary measure. And I think that that's hilarious because, I'm not saying that any specific government is, trying to, hide something per se. But if you look at history, if you look at, just the SEC as an example, right now in the United States, there's proof that commissioners were using the Signal app, right, to circumvent certain, messages and basically hide it from people, right? Meanwhile, the SEC should not be hiding from the U.S. taxpayers, and the taxpayers are obligated to know what the SEC is saying. But what do, right? Again, they're committing fraud potentially, right? These SEC officials, they could be talking about certain things and helping others commit tax fraud and helping them money launder, right? And again, these are all just, conspiracies that I'm sharing, but you can go look this up yourself, right? The government has been proven to do shady things. Even when we look at the FTX donations, these people are bought, right? A lot of these people are just taking the money, not saying anything, not even batting an eye. But as soon as, the little guy may have an opportunity to commit such a crime. And guys, I just want to be very clear here. I'm not saying to commit any fraud. I'm not saying to commit any type of money laundering. And I'm definitely not telling you to commit any tax fraud at all, because, you will get, it's not worth it. And I'm going to be very clear. It's not worth hiding in any single way to commit any of these crimes. Just pay your damn taxes. Don't commit fraud, because the time you'll spend in jail is just not worth it. And right now they're looking to make examples out of people. So that's not what I'm saying. But I think it's funny, again, that the government, these same officials, will commit these crimes. But as soon as, I guess some people have the option to with Monero, because it really is decentralized in that manner, they want to go ahead and crack down on it. I think that's absolutely hilarious. So, it's pretty straightforward there, right? And again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to do X, Y, or Z. This is just, again, something that I thought was pretty interesting to share. So with that, there was also some other thing and another reason actually why, and I think this is kind of a bogus reason, but I'm just going to share another reason why I was delisted. So Monero was also delisted from other exchanges in its association with mining malware. So Monero has been popular among malicious actors because of its privacy features and the fact that it is easily mined using malware. This has led to some exchanges to delist Monero as a measure to protect their users from the risks associated with this type of malware. I think that's pure cap. I don't believe it at all. In addition, this increased scrutiny of privacy-focused cryptocurrencies by regulators and law enforcement agencies has led to some exchanges to delist Monero and other privacy coins in order to comply with regulations. So I do believe the first one, right? The fact that people can hide their money, I definitely think that that's part of the reason why. But in the end, I still think that these on and off ramps will still get you caught, right? So definitely don't engage in any type of fraud of any types of way, whether that's committing money laundering or again tax fraud. Don't do it because again, like you're gonna have to use an on and off ramp, and basically those exchanges are gonna have you KYC. So yeah, you're gonna get caught if you try to do anything funny. But still, I just think it's hilarious. There must be some way where people are able to maybe not do KYC. Maybe that's why they're so afraid. But I still think it's funny that they're cracking down so hard on it. But just to be clear, don't do any of those things. I want to keep saying it because I know a lot of people love Monero because of that. And I think that, yes, it is good that, everybody can, have access to the same things. But at the same time, you should not be committing fraud of any sort because you'll go to jail. So simple as that. I'm like, you guys are probably like, this guy's paranoid or something. Like, who the hell is listening, right? Like, who the hell is even watching these videos, right? At the end of the day, like, people are like, I don't know. Maybe someone's watching it. Maybe there's a lot of cops out there watching videos on Monero, maybe saying, hey, wait a minute. These, YouTubers, what are they saying about Monero? Let's ban these videos of any sort. So, yeah, anyways, funny business. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe not. Let's see. Anyways, token information. Let's jump into tokenomics here. XMR is the native token for the Monero blockchain. So, currently the circulating supply is about 18 million, 235,000 with an uncapped supply. So, very important that you know that it's uncapped. Basically, the tokens are unlimited. So that is very important to know because like everything else, if you want to invest in a token, I think it's extremely important to understand the tokenomics because a lot of these tokens, they're just pretty much like held by VCs and they're waiting to dump it on you. And it's just like, you have to understand tokenomics, in my opinion. I think it's the most important thing. And that's why I focused on tokenomics and made it even like a section of itself because people need to know and understand that if you do buy something with the potential that it goes up so you can sell it later, you need to know the schedule, right? Because if someone decides to dump it, you don't want to be left held in the bag, right? So that's important. So again, according to a report from Asari, XMR has entered a decreasing issuance phase per below. While it is inflationary, the consensus due to the consensus, most of the inflation has already been factored in due to the supply schedule. XMR is mainly used again for peer-to-peer transactions, is seen as store of value, and used to pay XMR fees. And again, XMR was launched with 0 tokens, so I think that's very, very cool. All the tokens pretty much were mined, and they didn't want attention from the regulators because of the ICOs that happen and people can get cracked down on, so it's just like a whole thing. And again, the reason why each token was mined was so that there's no money raised, and it also gives it more privacy. And this is, again, boiling it down to even the consensus, right? Like they're like, nah, screw that. Everybody that wants to participate in this network, we're gonna do it all the way from the beginning. Ain't nobody getting no special, hand, picked type of, advantage. So again, if you look here, it's very, very clear that most of the inflation happened in 2015, 2014, potentially, where a lot of tokens were pretty much mined. And now as you continue 2027, and even from 2021, if we just look back 2 years ago, this is not that much. It's very slowly increasing in issuance. So most of the inflation has already happened. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here. And I think it's very important to understand that I think it's kind of safe to maybe start stacking, of course, unless people decide to start dumping. The tokenomics are important to know, but at the end of the day, it's one part of a multi-level thing when it comes to how these prices work. Because at the end of the day, the price can fall, but it might not be because of the tokenomics. So the tokenomics just eliminate one factor, but it's still important to know, right? So with that, we're going to jump into consensus while I take a sip of water. Been talking to 15 minutes here. If you guys are this far in the video, please like it. It really does help the algorithm. But moving on, Monero uses a proof of work consensus to secure its network and validate transactions. This means that Monero relies on a bunch of computers and nodes to complete transactions and mathematical equations to basically form new blocks. Okay, and it has a special type of proof of work, which is called CryptoNight, which is specifically designed to be resistant to ASIC mining. This means that Monero can be mined efficiently on personal computers and laptops, making it more decentralized and resistant to centralization of mining power. And no shade at BTC right now, but if you guys look at the hash power for BTC, right, what you'll find is that 3 pools control like 81% of all hash power, like 70%. And that's not really a good thing. You would definitely want hash power to be divided amongst multiple different pools. But I think it's very interesting that Bitmain actually controls about 51% of all hash power. Again, I'm not saying that a double span attack is going to happen. I just think that it's definitely, not as decentralized as most people make it out. And it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, of course, there could be a possibility that this CryptoNight it is a layer of protection to avoid the pools being like that. There's no active, I want to say explorer that I could find that shows how the hash power is subdivided. So if anybody does see that, feel free to share it. I would love to see it. But it's an algorithm designed to reduce energy of consumption of mining, making it more environmentally friendly compared to proof of work algorithms. The proof of work consensus combined with the CryptoNight algorithm helps ensure the security and stability of the Monero network while promoting decentralization and fairness amongst the distribution of rewards. So that's pretty freaking cool, okay? Again, it's a little bit different than Bitcoin, has a little bit more privacy focused, but again, it's definitely important to understand the differences because every blockchain is going to be better in its own separate manner because they're all focused on different things, right? There's not going to be one blockchain to win them all, right? It's just not how this works. So jumping into some on-chain analysis. So this is just 2 charts I want to share. I'm not even going to read the paragraphs because I'll let you know right now. This right here, this photo you're seeing, this is amazing, okay? This is the hash power. All you're seeing is since the inception back all the way from 2016, right? This is a growth across the network no matter what's happening. And that right there is a sign of confidence in the network. It's a sign that people are continuing to mine because they believe in the long-term value as well, right? Now, of course, you will see points in the graph where, yes, it does have an initial rise like it did back in 2018 and then it falls, but you're seeing a bigger rise follow. And yeah, right now it probably did fall a little bit, but I still believe, and this is my personal opinion, do not take this as financial advice, that it will continue to grow. And even when we look at the transactions, so yes, also taking a look at transactions of Monero, it's also extremely important. You can see here that the transactions have grown only since the blockchain has pretty much launched. So that means that, guys, as the network is continuing to grow in hash power, you're also seeing more and more transactions on the blockchain, which means that there's actual utility there. I mean, yes, the transaction count compared to a lot of other blockchains is pretty low, but you have to remember that every blockchain is a little bit different. It's not a blockchain where people are using it for payments on a settlement level, or it's not a a blockchain that's used to have smart contracts, right? It's not that kind of blockchain, right? You'll clearly see that blockchains that are layer 1s are going to have potentially more transactions daily than this. So it's important to understand these elements. It is fairly smaller compared to other blockchains at this market cap, but you must understand, again, this is why it's important to know and understand the blockchain. And then once you can kind of get this stuff all together, you'll notice the differences, right? So with that, we're going to move down to technical analysis. And I'm just going to go ahead and, share this with you guys because this is going to be more important in my opinion because, again, I can read, but this is definitely, I think, a better way to display. Basically, it jumped 1,140 times, which is freaking crazy, all the way from 38 cents all the way to $514 in 2017. And what you can see is that it's been going sideways for 1,800 fucking days, okay? We're about to reach 1,900 days. And I trade ranges, and what I've learned about ranges, guys, is that what you'll see is that there's usually a tap on both sides of a range. And once that happens, basically what you can tell yourself is that we're going to pretty much run. And, you know, it's possible that this does break down a little bit, but I'm starting to become less skeptical with the RSI gaining momentum here with this 9 EMA pretty much being held here. It's possible that we do start moving up off the lows here. Now, of course, you can still draw like this type of trend line here where maybe this can act as a support. We got a resistance and now it's bouncing off. That's definitely possible. But most likely, if this does continue to hold here, this level here at 93, then this chart is going to be ripe for a run, right? It's still possible that we come back down lower, all the way down to, let's just say 93 again. I think it's definitely possible. Then we go up, or we go up from here, right? And the reason I'm saying that, right, is because of the simple fact that the whole market, for total is concerned, what you're starting to see is that, you know, the market is moving up. And I also want to pull up stablecoin dominance. You're probably saying, Mo, we're talking about Monero. What the hell's wrong with you? But just really quickly, I think it's important to preface that, yes, I like to look at individual altcoins, but if you have a correlation that makes sense, you can start putting together an idea where the correlations actually work. And what I mean by that is that when stablecoin dominance is going down, right, when this chart is falling, you also see that altcoins run as well. So if altcoins are positioned to run, most likely altcoins that are with good charts are going to move as well. So right now, I think that this move down is very bogus. And, you know, I meant to say is very ripe. I didn't mean to say bogus. I meant to say this retracement is bogus. And we're probably going to see a resistance around here and then continue to go lower. And as this continues to fall, you're going to see altcoins continue to move up. Okay. So basically this whole run that we saw like this past month in January, you can see is a consistent fall. And on top of that, you can also see here total is very bullish. Okay. So if you guys watch my alt season video, I posted that maybe like 2 weeks ago. What you'll see there is that I talked about this low holding and alts were going to move up. And what you saw was two back-to-back 2-week candles moving up. So basically January was on the money. We were correct. And this all moved up. So again, I want to put a big emphasis on this, right? If you could take anything away from this video about the price of Monero going up, and I guess, again, I'm speculating, I'm just giving you an idea. If we get up to 1.13 trillion here and we hold it, then forget about it. Put on your moon shoes, right? Put on your moon suits because we're going to start flying, okay? And again, that doesn't mean that Monero is going to start flying. That just means that this total will start moving up. And if total is moving up, most likely altcoins are going to start moving up. So again, it's important that you understand and make that differentiation because at the end of the day, no one's going to be there to help you do anything. And I'm not even telling you to long. I'm just like you watching this video, trying to form my own opinion on what I think is going to happen. But I'll be honest, I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm going to be a little bit, confident in what I say here because I do believe that the alt market is going to move up. I have videos 2 weeks ago proving everything was moving up. So I am under the impression that, yes, we may have a correction, but for the most part, once this flies, guys, once this breaks its range, like once we get back up to 518, we break past it, guys, forget about it. And I'm going to give you just one last example. I mean, I feel like I've been talking about this chart for quite a bit, but I love techno analysis is where I specialize. You can see here that basically when something's ranging for a long time as it did here, especially after expansion, you can see this is expansionary phase. You see a consolidation, and this consolidated for about 2,000 days, and then guess what happens? You see a big move up, another expansion, and that's basically what I'm getting at here, guys. If you look again, you see expansion, sideways, and then move up, right? So again, what did I talk about here? We got expansion. This is sideways price action, and again, dare I say we get a move similar to even just this leg up. I'm scared to even show this. Let's just say that this was the bottom there. Like it's possible that, I'm not even going to say it, man. It's possible that we move up to 4 digits. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any specific numbers, but things are ripe. I do like Monero. Of course, there's going to be some, time that it takes, and the moves up are not going to continue to equal the same percentage as it did before. So moving up 1,140% is not going to happen again, at least not in a straight line. It's going to take multiple cycles, and of course, just like Bitcoin, as it grew, the percentages of increase keep on decreasing, but the trend overall is continuing to be bullish usually. So with that, I'm going to conclude with the final paragraph talking about the overall picture, okay? So Monero has a unique advantage in the world of cryptocurrencies, as it offers privacy and anonymity features that protect users from government overreach and surveillance. In the most recent upgrade, the Monero community has only strengthened the network even more, with concerns about government surveillance and data privacy becoming increasingly prevalent. The demand for privacy-focused cryptocurrencies like Monero is likely to grow. The use of ring signatures, stealth addresses, and covert in Monero's transactions process makes it difficult for government or other entities to track and monitor financial transactions. This in turn gives users more control of their financial privacy and security. As a result, Monero has potential to succeed as a blockchain in a world where privacy and freedom from government overreach are becoming more important to individuals and organizations alike. The fundamentals of Monero are strong and remain strong, along with other strong technical charts. I believe this may, and this is an asterisk there, lead XMR to new highs. While I am bullish on Monero, it doesn't mean it's correlated to the value of XMR. So again, I just want to preface this video by saying, or not preface anymore, this is pretty much over. I just want to say this again over and over. None of this is financial advice, as you can see at the top of the banner. Anything you do is your own decision, of course, right? But I'm just like you. You're just researching and learning about different protocols. And so this is what I found, and this is what I'm sharing with you guys. So I do all this research just for pretty much documentational purposes, just because I want to be like, okay, I want to buy some other altcoins. I also want to learn too, because learning is extremely important. So that's pretty much the name of the game. Of course, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, please like and subscribe. It really does help the algorithm. We're approaching 27 minutes. So if you made it this far, I absolutely love you. And don't forget to subscribe. And as always, haro haro haro. Peace.